didn't see the real world of what I saw. I saw a vision of a golf course and a drink with an umbrella in it and sunshine and all kinds of other things when I could work 2 or 3 hours a day and still make millions and millions of dollars. Does that work for anybody? Okay, not yet. We're working on it, but we haven't got it yet. So the whole idea behind it was I had a dream that really wasn't going to come to fruition. I had to get there first and understand some things. So I want to take it in a little bit of a different direction today than maybe what you've seen in the agenda or some of the other stuff. I still want to talk about stone. Doyle said you've got all the information on how to do it. We've been doing demos in the back for the last couple of days. You can come to an SMT class and help pay my children's college tuition, which I'm still got 2 of them going there. So we can do that, and I'll answer whatever questions you have, but I want to take it in a different direction. I want to talk about a time where I had a moment of clarity. Anybody ever have a moment of clarity? Because I've had several over the course of my life, but this one, year old son. And it was such a powerful thing for me. I like to share that with people because it kind of gives you an idea of where I come from and what I've learned about being in the cleaning industry, or any industry for that matter, for the length of time that we have. So I want to share that. But before I do that, what I want to ask is anybody familiar with a conga line? You ever see a conga line at a wedding dance or something like that? I would like to start a conga line right here in this spot. So any of you brave volunteers need a conga line right here. And anybody... Well, what have we learned about this little exercise right here? What do you think? Most people aren't willing to get uncomfortable. Exactly. A conga line can make you comfortable doing things that are outside the norm, doing things that other people might think are maybe ridiculous, is going to put us in a position where we could be criticized. Well, we run businesses, right? Do we get criticized? Yeah. Do we get criticized about other things that happen? All the time. We get criticized by different operations, different customers, different competitors, for example, are telling us about how we should be doing certain things. And I ask the question, a lot of times in other places that I've been to, we actually get volunteers to come up and do it. Those are what I call early adopters. Those are people who are in for everything, in for a penny, in for a pound. They're ready to go all the time. They jump at it. Didn't see a lot of jumping going on here. And it makes me wonder, why? Why are some people wired that way and other people aren't? Think about employees. Think about other things like that. Think about the challenges that we face all the time. Because I'm going to tell you something. If you want to be big in the stone market, you're going to understand and anticipate some challenges. These are different people. These are different customers. This is a whole different way of life. And they're going to ask you questions you never even dreamed possible. They're going to have expectations that you never saw because of the way things happen. So let me kind of get to the main part of my story here. My son got involved in an individual sport because his mother and I had a conference a while back where we realized that he wasn't going to be what we called one of those team players. He liked to do things himself. We got him involved in hockey. I'm a huge hockey fan, as is my wife. But when I played hockey, she would sit in the stands and read a book. Now she screams at the television when she's watching her wonderful Detroit Red Wings, which is the team that I happen to despise. So we have some interesting conversations around the house. Matter of fact, we had an interesting one earlier today. I wanted to go, put on a jacket because I was nervous about not wearing a tie, and I saw John not wearing a tie, and I went, oh, good, everybody's not wearing a tie. And I was out in the lobby talking to my wife on the phone, and I noticed I had 2 different color socks on. You can do all the things you want to do, but I got 2 different color socks on. So I'm noticing this as I'm on the phone talking to my wife. I said, when you put my socks together, when you did the laundry, you put 2 socks that weren't the same color together. I just grabbed them out of the drawer. She said, I don't put your socks together when I do the laundry. I said, that's my point. So there are challenges that we face all the time based on those kinds of concepts. So my son, we decided, wasn't going to be what we call one of those team players, okay? He was going to do some individual sports. And he got into this sport where you go and you race 20-inch bicycles, like a motorcycle motocross event, but you pedal. And the fans all yell at the same time, pedal, pedal, pedal. That's the cry every BMX parent has. Anybody involved in BMX or know of the sport? Okay. Well, there's some different and unique things that happen with BMX, okay? BMX has a beginning, the start, and it also has a finish. During the course of the event, you will see from the start, they start on a hill, and they go down a hill, and they overcome what's called obstacles, okay? They overcome obstacles. And they tell you, they have a riders' meeting in the beginning before the event happens. When you reach an obstacle, when you encounter an obstacle, if you're the first one over an obstacle, if we have a crash before everyone has reached the first obstacle, we'll restart the race. But some of the riders don't see them as obstacles. Okay, we'll get into that. So they start. They have a plan. Every racer that's in the gate right here has got a plan. He's deciding how they want to run their race. Inside, outside, depending on their gate start or where they're at. Are they good at the starting point? Are they good on the track? Or are they good finishers? Okay, think about ourselves for a few minutes about that. Are we good starting out of the gate? Are we good once we're on the track, or are we good finishers? Can we be good at all three of those things? Some of the better racers are, some of the better business people are, but everyone can't be good at everything. When you start getting into the stone and drift into the stone world, you have to be good at everything, okay? Think about it. I mean, a stone care company, to get good, responsible clientele, most of the time they're more affluent than some of the other clientele we might work for when it's carpet or upholstery or ceramic tile and grout or one of those kinds of venues. They're a little bit more affluent most of the time because I don't see a lot of stone being put in trailer homes. I don't. Because you can't drive it across the road and down the street without breaking the stone that you've installed. Right? Plus it's heavy and it costs more than everything else. You don't see it at the low-income apartment complexes. Where do you see it? Yeah, high-end places, typically high-end places. Okay, and people who have shopped for this with the same general principles when she shops for stone that she used when she shopped for her wedding gown. As Doyle mentioned with the wedding idea, you know, this little girl's been thinking about this since she was 8 years old. Okay, this is what the day's going to look like. This is what my husband's going to look like. You know, this is how the day's going to go. These are the flowers I'm going to have. This is the dress I'm going to have. They know what it is. They don't know the exact copy until they put their eyes upon it. And that's exactly how they select their stone. It's unique. It's different. It speaks to them. It's bold. It's different than what everybody else has. And that's where they go to it. So we as professionals, we're in the starting gate with this customer. We have to have a plan. What are we going to do? We're going to weave inside when they weave outside. How are we going to counter some of the things? How are we going to listen to some of their questions? So they have a plan. They're in the gate and they're concentrating. Now, when my son got involved in this sport, we were very concerned about the other riders that were around his age. He was 9 when he started. We were very concerned about the other riders of his age because we saw a lot of tattoos. We saw a lot of odd-colored hair, like green and purple and pink and some of the other non-natural colors that we saw. Everything was involved or around or involving dirt. And I don't mean, you know, like dirt that we deal with, which is good dirt. I'm talking about just everything was dirty, dusty, and the people were not people that we would have met in any other way than at the BMX track. Okay? And I'm trying to be as nice as I can about that. But let me just say that, though. These were some of the most wonderful people I've ever encountered. But we would have never encountered each other if it weren't for the BMX track. They were automobile mechanics who were, by the way, very helpful to us because they're telling me about certain things you could do to make the child's bike a little faster. I'm not the handiest guy in the world. I'm just going to say that flat out. I'm not sure which end of the wrench you actually hold and which part you actually turn. Okay, that's how bad it is. And they would help me with some of those little things and changing their gear ratios and some of that to get more. They had it all figured out. How many turns of the crank of the pedal, you'll go 16 more feet if you have one more tooth in the gear. Okay, way beyond my capacity for caring, to be honest with you. But I watched these kids, and we went to a meeting of this track, all the track officials, because one of the coolest things that I saw, and I'm kind of a